Okay, hello everybody. I am Marcelo Bonfili, instructor of Gnosis. Here we are with Oswaldo Jimeno. He will talk to us about happiness. Hello Oswaldo, how are you?
Very good, Marcelo. Very good, and very greetings to all the people that are seeing us or hearing us right now.
Great. So let's go to the topic. What is happiness, Oswaldo?
Okay, we need to say that happiness is a complex matter, because sometimes we try to think that happiness is that we are feeling in some moment or some event of the life, but this is another matter that is happening to us. In fact, with this in this level that we are, because we are in the advanced course, we just seen in the first chamber, a course of Gnosis, many topics about the meditation, about the psychological effects, and we know already that you are going to comprehend the objective of this lecture.
Well, so we can say that happiness is more a long-term topic than how can you say? It is not a moment, but a long-term objective. Can we say that?
Yeah, we can say that commonly we people confuse happiness with another states of consciousness as pleasure, for example, and joy. There is a huge difference between pleasure, joy, and happiness. In fact, we are going to see that difference, because when we feel some pleasure about five senses, our five senses, it's the same as say that when I eat some delicious food, I'm enjoying, or I feeling a pleasure about that delicious food. For example, there is some people that like chicken or meat, or maybe an ice cream. When you eat something that you like, for example, this is a common example, you feel some pleasure because it's relative to the five senses, right? For example,
Right.
when you have a good rest at night, maybe you sleep by 8 or 10 hours, and you just wake up and you feel that you rest a lot in a good conditions, you feel that pleasure in order that you rest already. But talking about happiness is something else. Marcelo, we also can talk about joy. What is, for example, difference between pleasure and joy?
For example, I would like to ask to you, for example, a rock star. I meet a rock star I like, or somebody I don't like a rock star, for example, but maybe someone can say, oh, I have met someone and I'm very happy because of that. But sometimes we can see that after that happiness, I call it happiness by now, but I think you will clear that concept. After that moment of relative happiness, there comes an emptiness. Um, After that, someone can feel
Yeah, I get your
less
point.
happy. Okay, I know you have the point. Please clear that.
Yeah, Because it's the same as you said before. Somebody could know an artist, music artist, and say, "Oh, I feel so very happy because I am fanatic or a fan of that artist and I knew him, for example. I feel so happy." But maybe we
Right.
can say this is a join something, right? Because pleasure, as we said before, is relative to the five senses.
Okay.
Joy is when the circumstances of life are good, right? Or also what the people say, I have a good luck, right? Because something good happened to me. But this is just a circumstance of life, as bad circumstances or good circumstances. But
Okay.
talking about happiness, Marcelo, we have to say that it doesn't matter if you have good circumstances in your life or bad circumstances. If you have
Okay.
problems or if you don't have any problem. Happiness is a state of consciousness that allow you to find the wise purpose of life um, in order that you um, reach some teaching of life. I mean, that you can learn something of life. When you
Okay.
uh, when you go to that state of consciousness that is happiness, we can define a state of consciousness, then you feel really happy. You reach real happiness because happiness is it doesn't depend of any circumstance or event in your life, even if these events are good. As we said before,
Okay.
eating a delicious food or being on vacations in Hawaii or maybe in a
And
wonderful beach in the world. You know what I mean?
let me, yes, let me, Osvaldo, make a question. What about non-material things exclusive? For example, get a boyfriend or a girlfriend in our case. Some people says, I am not happy because I am not married or I have not a girlfriend. That is seems to be not so material. So but it is even a circumstance. So what can you say about?
Yeah, we need to say it, Marcelo, and all the friends are seeing now, that you cannot think happiness depends of another person because
Right,
happiness and unhappiness is in your inner aspect, right? Yeah, it's in your own self. And when you get married with somebody that like you, and maybe you have affinities with this person, you will share your own happiness if you have it. But if you are not happy, you cannot make happy to the other. Even
that would
that
be sad.
exactly, even that person cannot make you happy. It's a matter of find a real happiness by yourself. Nobody can give you
Right,
happiness, and that's a bad interpretation that we are doing by the years in the past, humanity, I mean, that we confuse pleasure, joy, and happiness. Happiness is another thing, different thing in life. And
right.
of
Because
course, we have the methods and the keys in order to reach happiness.
that's interesting because many people is waiting for something to be happy. Something like a girlfriend, like a car, like a truck, like whatever. Everybody, it seems to be waiting for something to be happy. And what you are saying is the opposite. We have not to wait.
Exactly, Marcelo, you got reason because You can reach happiness at the moment you know your own truth. Let me explain to you. If you have a problem,
Please.
you need to know that in the same problem that you have, is there the solution of that problem? But you cannot reach the solution of that problem if you don't investigate, if you don't enter to your own mind, your own emotions, and find the truth that is behind the problem. And we know already, because this is an advanced course, you know already, people, that the cause of the all problems that we have in life are the psychological defects, the ego,
Right.
envy, pride, loss, gluttony, greed, etc., etc., etc. When we find the ego or the psychological defect that cause that negative emotion, that problem, that bad circumstance in life, then we feel real happiness, because there is not higher happiness than the one that we reach when we discover ourselves. In fact, we have to say that through the inner path of self-knowledge, we can reach happiness. There is no another way. There is no another
Right.
place in order to go
Uh, I,
to reach happiness.
I have a question, Osvaldo. Can we say that happiness it goes along with freedom? Do we
With
have to be
freedom.
free in order to be happy?
Yes, of course. But remember, we cannot get free in real if we don't have peace and freedom in our mind. We need
Yes,
to
yes, of
free.
course. Please, pardon. My question is obviously freedom of mind, free of myself, not free of any circumstance.
You got it. You got it. We need to be free in our mind. How? When we practice meditation, but not only meditation in order to keep your mind quiet. There is one type of meditation in order to do that. And that can give you
Right.
happiness also. That is a state of consciousness, right? But the meditation that allow you to know yourself psychologically. Because when we
Right.
know ourselves psychologically and we find and discover that my worst problem is anger or lust or gluttony, I found the solution, because at least and finally I find the real problem, you know, and the real problem we
Right.
know is the psychological defense, obviously, right? There is
Okay.
a lot of benefits when we enter to the inner path of self-knowledge, a lot of benefits.
So so let me ask Osvaldo, if I now say, okay, I vote, I buy it, I want to be happy right now. What I gotta do? What I would must do so could be happy now, right now.
Okay, the first that somebody needs to do in order to start to feel happiness is be sincere with you. When you apply be sincere with you, recognize your own defects, your own egos, then you gave the first step in order to reach happiness. After that, when we discover an ego, we need to start to have control with willpower of that ego. And when you feel that you are controlling the situation, controlling your emotions, controlling your mind or the circumstances, then you continue being happy. Real happiness, I mean. Not only, as I said before, eat a delicious plate, or feeling happy because my parents visit me on the weekend. No, real happiness. And after that, when you eliminate that ego that is behind the happiness, and then you will be 100% happy in your life. Of course, we can start to feel that kind of happiness at the moment we start to practice, as I said before, the meditation. But remember something, in order that God, our self-being, gave us the happiness on meditation, we need to fulfill with our must. Let me explain to you this. There are highest level of consciousness on meditation, but God cannot give you that kind of states if you don't study the ego. When you study the ego and you fulfill with your must, with your dotis, inner dotis, spiritual dotis, knowing your own ego, trying to change your life, trying to make a radical change in your life, studying ego through meditation, then your inner God give you that kind of superior states that we can feel happy in the happiness.
Right.
You understand the point?
Um,
Because a
yes,
person
I
can practice meditation all day, but it doesn't mean you're gonna go directly to that kind of higher states of meditation. You have to
okay.
pay
So
for that.
meditation.
Yes, Marcelo?
Okay. So we can say that meditation is a necessary condition to be happy, but not a sufficient condition. So we have to meditate, but also we must research about ourselves to unlock higher levels of consciousness.
Exactly. Through meditation, we can reach happiness, but not only that type of meditation in order to keep the
Okay,
mind quiet. No, the other type of meditation, that is the self-knowing meditation, right?
okay,
That is one that we want
okay.
to.
I have another question. I think once one decides to know oneself, one can feel a state of happiness not just by the fact of being knowing oneself. It make oneself more happy than if one don't do anything. Could be. I don't know if you understand my question. I was
Please explain to me a little bit your question.
okay. I think if I decide to meditate to know myself, just for the fact of being researching about myself, just for the fact of being doing what I have to do, it makes me more happy. So I can say, I could say, if I am doing what I have to do, just that makes me more happy. I am right about that.
Yes, you're right. You're right. Because when you feel the necessity to work psychologically, for example, anger, and you don't permit that anger in your life, just go to outside and make a reaction. Then after that circumstance that you have control, then you're gonna feel happy. For
Right.
example, if somebody wants to eat something that it's not necessary to eat. Maybe you lunch already, you feel so comfortable, you feel satisfied, and gluttony in your mind. Try to that you make something that you don't have the necessity, and you control
Oh, I
yourself.
need some sugar.
Exactly. You need that, you know, some cake or some pie, and you really don't need that. After you control yourself, you're gonna feel very happy because you fulfill with your must. You fulfill with your doors, internal doors. If you combine and you complement that kind of behavior, good behavior in life, with meditation in order to develop your chakras or the meditation to keep your mind quiet, then you want already to penetrate in that highest level of consciousness. What our inner being or God is waiting for is that we make a radical change in life. And God, there is, that it, he doesn't have any problem in order to give you happiness. Because happiness, in fact, Marcelo, is coming from our own internal. Is the one that give you happiness. But after we fulfill with our is that we want to say, or what we want to say in this conversation. You got the point,
Right.
Marcelo.
Yes, it was very interesting. I have no questions right now, but it seems to be a deep topic, right? We have to practice.
Exactly, exactly. In the practice of this conversation or this short lesson is that we try to practice the self-observation, more self-observation all day, every instant, every moment. Because when we active our consciousness through self-observation, then we discover what we have to work psychologically. And of course, we need to practice meditation daily, at least 20, 30 minutes a day. I suggest you just to practice the meditation for quiet your mind before the sun leaves, before the sunrise, because there are some cosmic energies before the sunrise that allow you to penetrate or go to that highest levels of consciousness. And if you don't
Right.
have the opportunity to do it in the morning, just do it when you can, at night, before to rest, before to sleep. Most important is that you
Right.
constantly.
Okay. Very interesting, Osvaldo. Thank you very much.
Okay, Marcelo, thank you for the invitation. And I have to say congratulations of all the students of this advanced course. And we invite you to continue receiving this kind of lessons um, by video. In some day, sometime, maybe in your country, we can give physically the Gnostic courses. By the moment, we are trying to open a lot of Gnostic centers in many countries in the world. We are already in 33 countries. We know already also that there is not enough, but through the internet and this kind of methods that as Facebook, as WhatsApp, or in this case by Zoom or Telegram, we can share all the teachings of Master of Wisdom that they give us already. So thank you for invitation, Marcelo, and we keep in touch maybe in the future.
Okay, Osvaldo. See you soon, and thank you very much for the interview.
Bye-bye. Greetings to all.
Bye.